Oh, yeah. What is up, everybody? How are we doing this fine evening? Now, as as per usual, I had to give my introduction, but of course, I am not expecting many people to pour into the viewer stream at this moment. I've been gone for a little while, and that's something I'm about to update you all on. As well as, of course, as we all know, the old YouTube algorithm probably isn't announcing that I'm going live, mainly probably because I haven't been on here in a while, and because obviously, as we all know, I was pretty heavily shadow banned, so not expecting much, although I do see a few viewers already. Hello, kind sir. How are we doing today? I'll show that. Liking that jacket. Some good style you got going on in that profile pic. Keep it up. We'll wait a few minutes before I get into it. Yeah, so that is life. Life is that. The wild adventures of the type of person I am. We'll get into some of that here in a second. But man, let me first start off by saying it's weird to be back on here. I don't know if I'm going to be coming back on here that often, and I'll explain why as well. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and rock and roll with it because I'm not expecting too many people to come in here and watch the live show. So let's talk about it. I've been missing. I'd love to hear your hypotheses, your conspiracy theories as to why I haven't been coming on. But I'm just going to come out right and say it. I renounced the red pill. I followed Roosh in a way, and I decided to become a monogamous man, and I met the love of my life, and I'm getting married to her. So I've gotten rid of all this stuff. Never. I'm just fucking around with you guys. That is not true. That is not what happened. No, as a matter of fact, what's gone on with me, what's been happening is that I just, I had to sit here and I had to think about this channel, what's going on, kind of the trend of everything and how things are going, and I was just, it's just one of those things. Whatever. You're fighting a fucking uphill current when it comes to this stuff, when you're dicking around with this type of information, when you're trying to talk to people. And yeah. So believe it or not, I actually chose to go and explore a new career field. And I'll highlight some of that good stuff. And I also want to show you guys a couple things. First and foremost, if you haven't already, if you haven't checked out my book on Amazon, I should post the link. Maybe I got it right here. I think I Control V. Yeah. All right. I had to fuck with you guys. I had to fuck with you guys. Everyone's reacting. Check out my book on Amazon. I'm not saying it for the mere fact that I want you to purchase it. I do believe you should purchase it. I think it's a great book. Of course, I'm biased. But the feminist camp, something, somehow, somewhere, someone came across my book, and they decided to throw a fucking temper tantrum in the review section, just like they did my other book. We'll go through a few of these reviews. Some of them are actually kind of funny. I'm actually kind of surprised that some people actually had some wit and some cleverness and some, what else can I say? Some sense of humor about them. And then, of course, you got the regular, usual retarded spurging of feminists in the comment section too. So if you want to get ahead of the fucking curve right now, go ahead, click that link in the comment section or in the details section if you're watching this outside of the live stream. And you can go and you could read them yourself. However, I'm going to show a couple of them as well in a few minutes. I don't intend on being on here too long. Why? Because I actually have a fucking life. Yeah. And that's actually another thing that I had to really weigh out when I decided to kind of like take a step back. It takes a lot of energy to come on here every single day, 3 times a week and so forth. What's up, my man? How you doing? And I just had a few other things that I wanted to focus on. One big thing was I really heavily got into jujitsu. I was going to jujitsu about 6 times a week. I got really, really, really big into jujitsu when my jujitsu gym opened back up due to COVID. Realized that I really fucking missed it. I was training super hard for about 4 months straight, where I was going about on average 5 days a week. I started doing a little bit of coaching too, like pulling guys aside on the weekends and going over some different drills. I'm officially a 3-stripe purple belt at the moment. I should be getting my 4th stripe here soon. And I was on the cusp of testing out for brown belt. So I'm literally on the cusp right now of getting my brown belt. I wrote it down as one of my main goals this year in January that I wanted my brown belt this year. And, with COVID and everything like that, a lot of my other goals weren't able to really be accomplished. I had to reroute. And I figured, you know what? Hey, this is a thing. This is something specific that I can actually control. So I was going hard with jujitsu. My jujitsu got fucking pretty damn good. Now I'm kind of using the past tense right now because I'll explain what happened. I decided at a certain point when I saw everything that was going on with the whole defund the police type of shit, all this other crazy rioting and stuff like that going on, and the fact that my bank account was not reflecting really what I wanted it to reflect, I was just like, you know what? I should really consider going down a different professional route. And I sat back for a little while. I contemplated and I said, you know what? I was a fucking special operator. Now I got to clarify this. I wasn't exactly a special operations guy in the Marine Corps. It's my MOS did not fall under the special operations coding. However, it operated within the confines of special operations. So counterintelligence, human intelligence specialist. I did all sorts of fucking crazy, crazy shit. I was with Force Reconnaissance attached as a no kidding fucking team guy for about a year and some change. Did all the crazy shit with those guys. But I don't have the actual designation, but I have a lot of experience in that community. And I have, pretty much along the same lines of that training. And I sat here and I was like, man, I have not, because the second I got out, actually before I got out, I just said a big fuck you to all that bureaucracy, all that stuff. And I was like, man, you know what? I have this tremendous tool. I have this tremendous skill set in my background that I've never taken advantage of. Maybe I should explore going down that route. And it led me into getting into getting some texts. I was like, you know what? I should get into the security field and capitalize on this. So I started doing some research and I found an academy that I thought that would lead me in the right direction for getting my foot in the door into a certain community and so forth. And I was even contemplating, fuck it, just let's go overseas. Let's make as much money right now. With that money, I know what investments I want to make at this moment in time. So I actually decided to go to that academy. It was a 2-month-long academy up in LA. Pretty fucking epic. And as a matter of fact, I will show you guys essentially what I went through and I'll explain a little bit of it. Do a little share screen here. Okay. Chrome tab. Boo. Share. Go back. Pull that up. Here's a video. Pull that up. Turn up the old volume. Go back. Yahtzee. Alrighty. So I went through that academy. I just graduated last week from it, and I have a lot of things to take away from that, that I'm pretty happy with. Doesn't necessarily mean I want to work in the executive protection field. I don't fucking know. Probably not. I kind of want to keep doing what I'm doing, but I'll tell you what it did help me out with. And I saw a lot of things. So first and foremost, I had to live in a house with about 12 other men. All of us were veterans, so it was actually pretty fucking cool. But I really got to see the state of masculinity at this point in time in real time with like obviously with men and where men are at and kind of how men's lives are. The other thing I got to see was really what it comes down to is, as we all know, one of the big things that I'm trying to do myself is build my own academy. And I got to take away some really cool aspects of what I would want to place into my academy from their academy, plus the other aspects that I'm trying to do as far as really honing in on masculinity. The last thing that I would say that I took away from it as well was I got to see, well, I mean, I could give some of the pros. Like I really got a lot of tremendous training to kind of keep me prepared for what I think is to come. As we all know what's going on with the election and everything like that right now. I don't foresee I don't foresee a peaceful end in sight. So that helped me out. But as far as what I was able to take away knowledge-wise, I got a lot of good knowledge, a lot of things that added to my resume in a sense of honing my skills even further. And kind of that's that. But I do want to talk about some certain things when it comes to the state of masculinity. I don't really want to throw many people under the bus. I'm not trying to hate on people. Chance, relax, boy. Good man. He gets so excited whenever I get on here and start chatting. Anyway. Yeah, so I had to live with 12 other guys. The first 2-3 weeks of the course, every single morning, we woke up at 7:30 and we went to the schoolhouse. And for an hour and a half, we did combatives lessons, combatives training. Now, the combatives training isn't the style or sense of combatives that you might think, where it's like this Hollywood style piecemeal kind of thing of like, oh, this guy does this, then you do this. It's not like a program necessarily, where a lot of martial arts and a lot of martial arts schools today are very situational. Very situational. This wasn't situational. The best thing that I could say about it was all real. It was all realistic. It was, you're trying to knock this dude out as fast as fucking possible. This dude's going to be coming at you with a knife and he's going to be aggressive and he's going to try to fucking kill you. 2 people are coming at you, one with a knife, one just with bare hands or whatever. And here's what you have. And you need to fight your way out of this. Like, ready, go. Of course, you know, that wasn't the whole entire aspect of the combatives thing. We did go through, like, the first hour, I would say, was legitimate just drills and getting basic strategies down of fighting, which was fucking awesome. So it was real deal fighting. Like, none of this just like drilling. Hey, if a guy chokes you like this is what you're going to do. It was like, hey, we're training you to become a good, realistic fighter in these realistic situations. So yes, there was boxing, not a lot of kicks, which was good because what you're trying to do is incapacitate someone as soon as possible, which is awesome. So a lot of knockout strikes. I do have my own footage. I should have pulled it up. But yeah, it was awesome. It really was. And it was a sense of, we did a little bit of jujitsu. We did a bit of sparring. We did a bunch of 2-on-1 sparring. And then we also went through a whole lot of other stuff like baton training, OC spray, taser, We did 11 days in a shoot house, which was fucking tremendous. Like really, really good shooting drills. Really good shooting drills. Like very, very impressed with the teacher, the instructor, and the way they have everything set up. I was really impressed. As you guys saw, we did a day at the track and got to do some maneuvers. We got to drive a Maserati, a Dodge Challenger RT. It was legit. It was a really good course. So 2 months of doing that. Now I do want to hone in a little bit right now, like I said, on the state of masculinity today from what I've seen. And the reason why I brought up the combatives aspect was the combatives aspect. A lot of people, a lot of men aren't used to being hit. They're not used to being punched. They're not used to going through an hour and a half long of training, and especially training being back to back, day after day. But I would say that my group for the most part did pretty well. But I would also have to say that I was kind of the glue, and I hate to say it like that, but I was kind of the glue that would wake people up in the morning, because I wanted a lot of people to be at the training in order for me to be able to train efficiently and effectively. So or I should say, when I create my own academy, that will also be the bedrock. That will be the foundation of the academy, is combatives training / MMA / jujitsu. And that's the big thing. The big thing moving forward, as what we're starting to see, what we need to do in order to fix society, is we need to have a warrior culture. I've talked about this ad nauseum through and through. And the biggest thing I've noticed, and this is what I want to talk about when it comes to the state of masculinity today, and probably one of the biggest reasons why I decided to not really continue coming on here that often, is most men aren't ready for this. Most men do not desire this. And most men will not put forth the effort in order for that to become a reality. And that's just me being fucking real. And I hate to sit here and be this guy, but you guys got to look in the mirror too. You got to look in the mirror, because I guarantee you, if you were to get thrown into something like this, into this type of academy, a lot of people would start coming up with a lot of excuses as to why, and they would quit. They'd quit on themselves. They'd quit on their buddies, and they'd make a lot of excuses. Now, the other thing that I noticed too with living with a lot of these guys, I don't know if it's just veteran specific, but every single guy smoked weed every single day. I shouldn't say every single guy. There was one other guy that I know of that didn't smoke weed every single day. Out of the 14 or 15 guys that went through the course, there was one other guy in the course that did not smoke weed every single day. I was the only person that went through there that was sober. And I hate to call myself and consider myself sober, because it makes it seem like I'm like I had to choose to be sober or whatever. I was forced to be sober. I just don't do those things. I've chosen not to. But every other guy in there, the second we would get off work and or out of class or whatever, they were going back, they were smoking weed, they were ordering out fucking takeout food, and they weren't working out. They were just sitting there on their phones or watching fucking TV shows and being lazy. Now, don't get me wrong. The course was tough. It absorbed and took a lot of energy, but the coping mechanisms of most men today, of most people today, I should say, but this is me just talking straight from the point of viewing men. Most coping mechanisms were to go home and smoke weed and to eat shit food and to just sit and veg and relax. And the other aspect I noticed about a lot of these guys too is they are also addicted and in codependent relationships with women. They look at women as a source of nurturing them, but they're in fucking terrible relationships. And of course, this is all blue pill. This is all blue pill mindsets in men, is that life is supposed to be comfortable. What they just went through throughout the day was tough and hard and arduous, and it's not fair. The other thing that I really noticed about a lot of these guys too, especially the younger men, they're really addicted to their phones. They're really addicted to instant gratification. They're the types of people that they want everything to be delivered to them only for what's like on the test. They only want to know the wave tops. They don't really want to learn lessons. They only want to be tested. I don't know if you guys catch what I'm saying, but they only want enough to be able to get by and pass the syllabus, essentially. Like, enough, give me enough where I'm going to be able to score well on the syllabus, but I don't really want any of the knowledge or wisdom or the pain that comes with actually learning these lessons. If the class, if it says that we're going to be out of here by 4:00, I'm watching my watch at 3:55 and I'm counting down to 4:00. And if we're not out directly at 4:00, I'm going to start bitching and moaning. That's how a lot of these guys are today. It's absolutely fucking asinine. Like, for me personally, like, that was amazing for me. I loved going through something like that. That was is this going to be on the test? It's super fucking annoying. Super annoying. Men don't want to learn or be challenged. They just want to get the certification. They want to just kind of like how women are today. They want to be the Mary Sue. They just want to arrive and get the fucking cert and get the fuck out of there. They don't actually want to go through the journey, man. You know, the hero's fucking journey. They don't want to be transformed. They just want they want to be like bit by the spider and turn into fucking Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Not a lot of men today have the fucking grit, determination, or drive to want to transform themselves into better. They just want to be entertained and have fun. It was really quite sad. It was quite sad. A lot of these guys have some deep-seated issues as well that they need to work on. And a lot of them won't. A lot of them won't work on it, and it's quite sad. Now, the other thing that kind of disappoints me as well was the this is kind of a career field that requires people to be pretty badass. Like, executive protection, we're protecting high-level CEOs / high-level actors and actresses, right? And these are people that attract a lot of weirdos, and you kind of have to be the face. You know what I mean? You got to be that first line of defense. You got to be that boundary. You got to be that border. It's just like a checkpoint. You know, most people, their butthole puckers up when they start approaching a checkpoint. Like, if you're going to like a military base or something like that, their butthole is going to pucker a bit because there's a good defensive posture with supposedly well-trained people that are going to be like, they're going to cut through your bullshit. That's essentially what's supposed to happen. Now, a lot of these guys just didn't fit the part, nor did they want to. They just kind of like showed up in order to kind of do the cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, I showed up because I want to do the cool stuff too. But no, I'm saying that these celebrities attract a lot of the weirdos. Celebrities and CEOs will attract a lot of weirdos being in the public eye that are going to want to come and say what's up to them and shit. So you kind of have to be that first line of defense to kind of thwart those people off from wanting to approach. Anyway, with that said, like I was saying as well, a lot of these guys just wanted to show up and do the cool stuff, and they didn't realize, maybe it's me. I mean, maybe I've just been through so much in life right now, but I've realized that anything that looks cool, especially if you're going to like a school or you're going in the military or whatever, there's going to be a lot of bullshit before you get to that point. Like, for instance, the first 5 days of the shoot house, we were just doing dry drills for hours on end, just doing dry drills over and over and over. And I got to give it up to the instructor, Tomer. His attention to detail was so fucking infuriating. He was he wanted it so specific that he would make you do things 100 times. It was awesome. It was awesome. And that's coming from me at a mature stage in my life right now where I can appreciate those things. But all the younger guys would get frustrated and they get flustered and they get mad and they'd be like, oh, this is bullshit. And they'd quit. And they didn't realize that level of like masculine mentorship of telling you it's not good enough and perfecting it's for the better. It's for the better. It pays off in the long run. So that was just really sad to say. Now, I do have to say this. I was up in LA. I was up in LA for 2 months. And of course, I was doing the swipe game up there. And holy fucking shit. Holy shit. Women up in LA are no fucking joke. Like, I was in Miami for a little while. Scottsdale is the second best. I will say this. LA, Scottsdale, Miami. That's how I'm ranking it in terms of hot women and the plethora of them. LA is no fucking joke when it comes to hotties. It's amazing. However, second hardest place I've ever tried to fucking spit game at. Miami was the hardest. Miami was hands down the hardest place ever. LA was damn hard. And what I could tell you is the levels of women that are up there and the amount of men that have kind of already ruined the game, and the level of wealth that is up there. Being someone like me, like, I'd probably consider myself a good solid 8. Good solid 8, like across the board 8, right? Being an 8 up in LA is not good enough. Like, you'll maybe pull 5s as an 8. Unless, of course, you have the one thing that matters the most. Well, the two things that matter most: money and status, right? If you have those things, all doors are open to you, because essentially what these girls want, and don't get me wrong, I was matching with solid 7s, 8s, 9s, and I think an occasional 10 or so would wander in. But if you weren't willing to take, and of course, like, my whole goal was, as we all know, my whole goal is always to get right to the bang. Like, that's what I do. I'm not fucking around with taking you out on fucking dates and all this other shit, especially because my time is important at this moment. You know, like, let's go, let's do something kind of deal. I'm coming to your place or you're coming to mine. Now, of course, I couldn't bring girls over to there, so I had to be very, very tricky about how to do business. I had to fuck around in cars and mostly in their cars, because my car is not that big. But it was very difficult. But if I had money and status, it would have been a fucking walk in the park, honestly. Money and status is all the difference. Those girls know it. All the girls there was something strange too, because all of them would put on their profile, as far as like a relationship, right? You have the thing like looking for a relationship, something casual, or don't know yet. All of them would put don't know yet down. And for me, coming from San Diego, if a girl had don't know yet, that means she's DTF. Like, that means she's DTF, plain and simple. Like, you just go for the fucking kill, right? Like, what's your number? Let's hang out. All right, you come to me. Fucking wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Out the door. Awesome. Up there, it doesn't mean that. They are just, they're predators. They're fucking predators. They are saying this in order to lure you in, to make you think that they don't want a relationship, right? But every single girl has the 3-date rule up there. Like, you have to, unless you have fucking money and status, which you still have to take them out on a date. You still have to take them out on a date, and that's how they're going to size you up. They're going to size you up by what you're wearing, what you're driving, and how much money you spend on the date. Then if you pass that test, they might go home and sleep with you, right? If not, if you don't pass that test on the first one, 3 dates, and then they'll probably open up to you on that one. But it was very, very, very difficult. I had the, I guess, learning experience, because one of the guys there, the only other red pill dude that was there, he was 6'5" with a chiseled jawline. Goofy looking motherfucker, super fucking goofy. He was just goofy in general. He was a fucking scrub too. And I hope if he's watching, I gave him my YouTube channel. He knows that I mean this with all the fucking love and respect, but this is just a breakdown of him. 22-year-old kid, 6'5", chiseled jawline, but he looked goofy as fuck. He was a gangly, not gangly, but like he's just an awkward alligator, right? And he's a scrub, like a total fucking scrub from Tennessee. Fucking ripped clothes, like dirty fucking patchy beard and all this other shit. This dude, I swear to God, he maxed out on Bumble and Tinder. Like, you couldn't, like, He would literally, he showed me his unread messages of girls, unread messages, just unread messages on Bumble. 121 unread messages. This isn't matches. This is messages of these girls hitting him up and trying to talk. Like, he was talking to like 200 girls at a time. It was so much that he was just over fucking whelmed. He was going out every single night, having these girls pick him up and all this shit. And there's two things that you guys got to understand that made it so that he had this many women throwing himself at it was the jawline and being 6'5". And I would even say the 6'5" thing was the most important thing. That's all girls would read on his fucking profile, and they would be throwing their fucking pussy at this kid like no one's business. Now, of course, he's matching with like 25 and below. That kind of seems to be the new thing for girls today, where it's like, oh, if he's 6'3", I might date him, but if he's more than 6'3", let's bag him up. Let's bag him up. That's like the new golden goose of today's day and age. I got to be real with you. And he was fucking hammering it. It was really fucking, it was a sight to see. I've never seen someone hammer it that hard with just, I don't want to say he had shit game. I really don't want to knock on his game because we traded notes a lot. Of course, he took a lot of notes from me, but he didn't need to really rely on game that much. Like, he had a strong frame. He knew shit tests. He knew how to fuck around with them and not pedestalize them, which was fucking awesome. But all he had to do was just have a chiseled jawline and be 6'5". It was fucking insane. So he had the fucking time of his life up in LA. He was smashing left and right. I think he fucking banged like 10 girls in a week or 10 girls within 2 weeks or whatever. It was insane. It was insane to see. So I got to give props to someone when I see something like that. Your boy wasn't pulling like that. But one thing I can say is this. I got to give it up to myself. From November 11th to November 11th of this year, I did hit my record. I did hit my goal. I smashed 52 new women, all A's, 52 women. That's not including blow jobs or anything else like that, any other sexual stuff, but 52 women this last year. I averaged one new girl a week. It is possible. I know AMS says you should be getting 2 a week. Sorry, AMS, I am not on your fucking level. I'm on my own level doing my own game, but I'm pretty proud of that. So I got to give it up. I'm no schlub. It was hard in LA. This dude was on fire. I'm working with what I got. You know, all these black pillars out there that are like, oh, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, sure. Are you going to be fucking smashing like my boy? I don't think so. Are you going to be smashing like me? Probably not. But I'll tell you what, if you could fucking get your money right, get your body right, physique-wise, and learn how to talk to women a bit, you know, like you don't have to be perfect. You can easily get 12 new girls a year. Easy. Like, that's not that bad of a statistic, right? But all these black pillars out there want to be like, oh, I'm never gonna. Like, dude, the never gonnas, fucking, they're not gonna get you anywhere. Right? This life that we live right now, it's a life, it's a fucking journey. Like, straight up, it's a fucking journey. Like, you got to embrace the journey. You got to accept the journey. You got to embrace the journey. You got to embrace the fucking hard work that goes in to turning yourself and transforming yourself into a different fucking man. That's what this is all about. That's what masculinity is about. That's what life is about. That's what happiness is, I believe, right? My whole thing in life is I'm chasing this dream of becoming the most optimal me that I can become. And at the end of the day, when I look back, I want my story to be told as though I was the fucking man. Like, straight up. Like, I want to live the life of the man. The fucking man. I want people to look back at my life and be like, yo, that dude was the man. Right? And sure, I don't have a fucking chiseled jawline. I'm doing what I can. I'm fucking doing exactly what I can, right? Right diet, right supplements, working out, doing fucking exercises and shit like that. I think I'm 5'10 and a half, 5'11. So I'm a little fucked there, but who cares? Like, I make up for it by being me, right? And by having big muscles and being able to fight and knowing game. right? You could sit here and you could fucking cry in a bucket all day about not being fucking 6'5". But what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? So I think that's the state the state of masculinity in the future. That's what we need to get to. We need to get guys getting this stuff into their mindset of like, okay, here's the fucking cards I'm dealt, but how can I turn it into a winning hand? What can I do? And I got to be honest with you guys right now too. I'm being a little bit motivational at this point in time, but I got to be frank. One of the biggest reasons why 5'10" and a half, 5'11". On a good day, I can get 5'11" and a half. I no longer really care that much to be coming on here every single fucking day and trying to pep talk guys into understanding and seeing things from my fucking point of view. I don't really give a fuck about motivating men to become fucking warriors anymore, because guess what? I did it for a fucking year and a half. I really did. I really fucking hard charged myself into the manosphere. I tried to say my piece in order to help guys fucking see the fucking light at the end of the tunnel, see things from a different perspective, become motherfucking warriors. But I got to be honest. It's a losing battle on my side, on my end, because there isn't enough, there's not enough incentive. There's no incentive right now for anyone to do this. Shit is going to have to get real fucking hard here pretty fucking soon. And I have a feeling it's going to happen. I've been saying that for some time too. I've been saying, hey guys, get prepared. I know a few people, and this is the WarTribe that I'm speaking of. The few people that are in that group, in that community, that actually said, all right, let's fucking listen and let's do it. Those are the only people I know right now that have made changes in their life in order to get prepared for what's coming down the fucking pike. Now, someone asked me a question. They said, hey, Corey, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going on? Your prediction of the future, even when Trump wins. I think that Trump is going to win. I have to stand by that. I think Trump's going to win. I think that's going to cause the spark that's needed for some type of black bloc agitation to come in and some type of civil war. We got to look at it in the sense that the far left has already been pushed to such egregious radicalization, and they're already funded and they're already trained. If Trump doesn't win, Republicans aren't going to do anything violent in order to fucking tear down the establishment. They're not gonna. Republicans are passive beings at this moment in time. They're too far up on this fucking moral high ground of not believing that there's any need for violence, that they're never going to do anything violent. They're not really going to, they're not going to fucking freak out, right? We just got to be real. But the left is right there. And that's what this whole fucking teasing is going on right now. That's what all this stuff is it's a means to build up the left, who's already emotionally fucking unstable. Let them think that they're on the number one pedestal, and then you take it away from them. And you got to make it look like it was some type of well, first and foremost, it's going to be something constitutional. And of course, we know the left hates the Constitution. And that's going to be a way for them to really want to destroy the establishment of America. And there's enough, like I said, there's enough tinder, there's enough in the powder keg, and they're already primed and ready to go. It wouldn't make sense to not elect Trump, especially with how radicalized he's made these people. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think shit's going to get pretty fucking crazy after that, guys. I really do. I think shit's going to get pretty crazy. I think we're going to see a lot more stuff roll in. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more violence. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more like black bloc terrorism. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a full blown civil war, but it's going to be pretty ugly. It's going to get ugly. And then I think that's going to push us into a financial collapse. And then that's going to get even more ugly. And I don't know where to go from there. I don't know. All I know is that you guys got to be ready. I think there was something else that I wanted to. Oh yeah, that's what I want to talk about. My fucking book. Let's pull that shit up. Let's pull up some stuff here. Let's pull up this stuff. If you guys haven't already, please do go and check out my book on Amazon. Purchase it if you aren't a douchebag, but you know, I am talking to the world's finest. Feminists have found my Purging Feminism book on Amazon, and they have proceeded to spurg out like they normally do. Let's pull up a few comments because it's worth it. Oh, man. So as you guys can see up here on the screen, we have my book, Purging Feminism, on Amazon. Let's go down to the comment section. First and foremost, I had like 5 reviews that were 5 stars up to that point. And then, oh shoot, it looks like somebody else has come up on here. Oh, the first comment that we come across. Tiny Peen Trilogy. A tale in celibacy and misogyny. Just because you can't get laid doesn't mean women are at fault. 30 people found this helpful. Let's just report that. If you guys want to do so, also, please feel free to go there and report these. Don't report the funny ones. Report the stupid feminist ones, right? 30 people apparently found that helpful. You guys are idiots. But thank you for coming and buying my book. I hope they bought my book. This is something I think I need to bring up with Amazon, but I'm sure I'm not going to get any help there. 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. Okay, here we go. Kimberly Blevins reviewed it as a 1-star and said it was pure garbage or just garbage. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Have a read, see for yourself. First and foremost, you didn't read it. So if you read it, you would have understood that it's not garbage and you probably would have been saved, but you are a soulless fucking zombie. Go. And I can't say what I want to say because, of course, censorship. Thank you. Let's see what else we have here. Luis Zaragoza, good old feminist ally. Of course, he's probably being pegged by his 250-pound land whale of a girlfriend. But you know, whatever. A great example of what's wrong with so-called men's rights activists. And if you did your research, you'd understand that I am not a men's rights activist, but that's okay. And the world of fiction that they seem to inhabit. It is riddled with historical inaccuracies and wild opinions being presented as fact. Done so with a smug attitude that is typical of someone who is entirely wrong, but cannot be bothered to admit it. I wouldn't waste my time on this book. Not only that, but the writing itself is so dry and genuinely unengaging. If you had actually read the book, you would be able to say where I was historically inaccurate, which I don't really go into much history. So, you know, he's lying. And also, it's actually not dry. It's actually quite engaging. It's pretty hilarious, especially my chapter, I believe, on the positive feminine. Yeah. Incel literature is finally a thing. It generally doesn't bode well for a novel when the about the author reads like a fan fiction he wrote about himself and is full of typos. It's not full of typos. I did write it myself, though. I appreciate that, Michael Casterberry. Let's take a look at what this guy looks like, too. Oh, yeah. We got a neck-bearded fucking retard. Let's see. He's got a Samsung Go mic. Awesome. These are the types of people that are allied to feminism. Guys that can't get laid and they're just gross looking. So I appreciate that, Michael. Thank you for putting your name on that. so that we can all see what a loser you are. A pathetic manifesto of self-hatred and scapegoating. This is pretty good. I often wonder what mind-melting brain stew of social media and grifting pickup artist culture has led to this generation of insecure, hate-filled, long-winded men. Eat a CBD gummy, take a long look in the mirror, and stop blaming women for your problems. Didn't blame any women for my problems. I don't really have any. We'll just go ahead and report that too. Let's get to the funny ones. Where's the funny ones at? Here we go. Perfect for incels. I read this book to understand why I'm a 28-year-old virgin and ended up learning about how evil feminism is. Anyway, I rate this book 4 stars since it ended up getting me kicked out of my mom's basement because I explained to her that the patriarchy is actually good and she needs to learn her place and stop being such a bitch about making me chicken tendies. Otherwise, 5 stars. Anyway, author dude, can I crash at your place for a few years? That one was pretty funny. A book written by a woman-hating misogynist. Okay. This book is a lesson of how to repel every woman you meet. The author clearly hates women and spent a huge amount of time writing a whole book about his hatred of them. Don't waste your time. That's not true. There was another one on here that was actually pretty hilarious. But appears it's not pulling up all of them. Oh, wait, unless I got to do next page. See? Yes. Disgusting and pathetic. Oh, this is a good one. Good read, but damaged my appliances. A good read, but ever since I bought it, my dishwasher won't stop screeching. I love it. That was actually pretty helpful. Anyway, that's enough of my book. If you guys would be so obliged to 1, purchase, 2, leave a review in order to cancel out some of that feminist hatred, I would be very happy. Not so much the fact that I would be getting money from it. As a matter of fact, I really don't make much money off of this book. But I do believe the knowledge that is in the book is absolutely imperative. I think it's well written. It's written unlike other people who are quite long-winded and don't seem to get to the point very quickly. I think this is and summarizes some pretty deep thoughts when it comes to the red pill in, very easy to understand context. So it's also a book that's fun and sparks the rage of many a feminist. So if you are all about reintroducing the patriarchy and down with the feminist fucking matriarchy, please do purchase this book. And as I said, leave a review. That's the main reason why I wanted to come up on here, was so that I could get the warriors of the red pill to go and siege and lay waste to the feminist spurgs in the review section of my book. Thank you, George. George is purchasing as we speak. Much appreciated. And as I said, please do leave a review. Write something that would possibly infuriate and make a feminist head blow. With that said, don't know when I'm going to be on here again. Yep, don't know where to go from here. Keep your make sure the subscription is still there. Make sure the fucking icon bell is set. And if you really want to stay up to date with me, even I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at A God Amongst Men too. I don't really post too much on there, but you could at least DM me, or you could DM me on Instagram if you want to, at Corey Capella. Other than that, throw some tips my way, like, share, and subscribe. A share would help the most. Actually, money in my pocket would be the best. So you could PayPal me, paypal.me/Corey Capella if you want to, or purchase my fucking book and share it and tell people to buy it. That would be amazing too. With that said, I'm the fuck out of here. I need to go give my dog a bath.